Hey everyone, it's Bloom here, and welcome to my Let's Play of Silent Hill F. Normally, I don't play games that are this new. This is kind of out of character for my channel, but I've gotten a lot of requests for this, and I think a celebration is in order because the rumors are true. Silent Hill is back. Silent Hill is so incredibly back. Silent Hill actually could not possibly be more back than it is right now. And I knew this game was going to be good when I first saw the teaser trailer a few years ago. Because not only did it look incredible and, like, unique, like, wow, we're finally doing something different, we got confirmation that it was finally going back to a Japanese studio, and I'm not someone who's like, oh, Silent Hill needs to be an exclusively Japanese developed franchise, because no one else understands it, because I don't think that's necessarily true. We got a lot of great psychological horror games that aren't Japanese, like especially recently, but I do think you're more likely to get someone who understands the Japanese psychological horror genre in Japan, obviously. So given that we were getting so many clunkers when they decided to outsource development to the US and Europe, it kind of baffles me that we took so long for them to say, hey, maybe we should go back to having the games made in Japan. But actually, I think the main thing I think they did right was having the game written by an actual writer. Like, the strongest parts of Silent Hill has always been its story. No one plays Silent Hill for the gameplay. And the gameplay itself is influenced by the story. Like, of course, in Silent Hill 1 and 3, the games are more, like, violent and combat-oriented because that relates to, like, Heather or Alessa's revenge mission and her struggling not to give in to hatred and violence. And then in Silent Hill 2, you can easily avoid the monsters, but you might want to still kill them because they're inconvenient or because, like, they disgust you or scare you and all that. Not to go too deep into that, we could talk about that for forever. But yeah, that's also totally the case here. The main criticism directed at this game is that it's too combat-focused, and I do agree with that, but I also, like, it also makes sense for the story. I do think they went too far with it, but there is a reason for it. It makes sense thematically, as we'll see. I have a few other criticisms as well, but we'll get to them. And it's not nearly as hard as some people say it is. Once you get the basic gist of it, although they don't really explain it too well, once you get the basic gist of combat, it's kind of pathetically easy. Boss battles can be a bit tricky, but anyway. So, the writer. So one of the first things we found out about this game was that it was being written by Ryukishio 7, who was the writer and developer of the When They Cry visual sound novels, like Higurashi and Umineko, and he is as amazing a writer as people say he is. Higurashi and Umineko, especially Umineko, are long as fuck, but they are amazing. It definitely takes a specific type of person to get through them and enjoy them, but I am that specific type of person, and I think a lot of people who enjoy Silent Hill are. They're extremely character-driven, which is also the case here in this game, and it's always been the case for Silent Hill, which made Ryukishio 7 a great fit. So, we're about to start here. We're gonna get all the endings, but the first playthrough you do of the game, it's always gonna result in the default ending. This is absolutely the type of game that has to be played multiple times to fully understand the story. When you do New Game Plus, it's a little different. So it's not just doing the same thing over and over again, although it does get a little, like, tedious when you, like, go to, like, past the second, playthrough. But yeah, we'll get to that. Well, what's really unique is that we get all this information, like, trickled out to us as the game goes on, but we don't actually know what the story is until, like, the last 5, maybe 10% of the game, and then it all clicks into place. It's kind of like Silent Hill 2 in that regard. It's a lot like Silent Hill 2 in a lot of ways, but actually, if I had to, and I've been thinking about this a lot, If I had to draw any comparison with a game, it would be Rule of Rose. The narrative style is actually astonishingly similar to Rule of Rose. But anyway, we have rambled long enough, so let's get started. So Action, you can play story if you want to. They added a casual mode recently that's, like, really easy, I guess. I played story first and it was too easy, so like in my second playthrough I switched to hard. But you do get powered up, so it is easier as you go on. So yeah, we're gonna go hard. And then for puzzles... Oh, they just added that recently. We're gonna go hard. Puzzles is actually one of the other criticisms I have, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
私は一人でも全然寂しくないの。仲間外れなんか気にしないもん。
ひなこ、お友達のところに遊びに行ったんじゃなかったの？
男の子と遊ぶ子はおままごとに入れてあげないだって。
じゃあお姉ちゃんと一緒におままごとしよっか。
本
当？お待たせ。お姉ちゃん、何かいいことでもあった？
うん、昔を思い出してた。お姉ちゃんって小さい頃からずっとお姉ちゃんだったんだなって。
ひなこ、私ね。
これお姉ちゃんにあげる。
綺麗だわ。ありがとう。
They're just gonna take a minute to show us how incredible the game looks. And it does look absolutely incredible. Like, in like, graphic fidelity and in its style. I honestly think this might be one of the best looking games, like, to date. I really do.
Hinako! 親に向かってその言い草は何だ。
お父さん、やめてください。
純子はあんなにも高校娘なのに、どうして妹の前は何もかも正反対なんだ。どこ行く？話はまだ終わってないぞ、ひなこ。
お父さん、ひなこだって分かってくれてますよ。
分かってたらどうしてあの態度になるんだ。これも全部お前がひなこをずっと甘やかしてきたからだろう。
ひなこ、お父さんはね、あなたのためを思って。
友達のとこ行ってくる。
早
ってたまるか。そんなこと。
So we are playing in Japanese. I think it makes sense. It is like, I mean, obviously it's a very Japanese game. I think that the English dub is fine. But first of all, Konatsu Kato is like the heart of this game. She plays Hinako, and she does the motion capture as well. And I think that there's I mean, I generally think that voice acting is best done when it is, like the same, actor who does the motion capture. I don't think that's a really controversial opinion, though. And I think that, a lot of stuff in Japanese does not translate well in terms of, like, line delivery to English. Like, sometimes for other games it might work fine, but for this one, I think there's, like, a definite downgrade when it comes to the English voice acting in that regard. Anyway, let's look at our journal. Rare. Yes, you agree with me. Shimizu Hinako. Me, there's not a single extraordinary thing about me, except maybe being tall for a girl my age. I used to be in the track and field club, which is probably why I'm better at sports than most girls. I guess I got used to running around a lot when I was a kid, since I preferred playing with boys. I will admit I can be quite stubborn at times. I don't like accepting things that other people decide for me, even if it's the right thing to do. More than once I've rebelled and made the wrong decision, only to regret it later. Shimizu Kimie, my mother. If I had to choose one word to describe her, it would be pitiful. She's the one who bears the brunt of my father's violent moods and malicious abuse. When I was younger, she used to protect me from him, so I didn't hate her back then. But maybe I do hate her now. Even as my father screams in her face, throws bowls at her, and sends her out for alcohol late at night, she remains ever loyal to him. I just cannot, will not, accept her way of life. Shimizu Kanta, my father. When I first learned of the term patriarchal husband, and that it meant a man who does nothing but boss his wife around, he was the first person to come to mind. Dad barely talks. He ignores me when I tell him good morning, but if I say nothing, he gets angry instead. And once he's angry, he just explodes. He loses all control over his emotions in the blink of an eye. He yells at Mom, throws things around, and even hits us. Why can't he act like that in public? Why does everyone else only get to see his quiet, calm side? If it meant that I wouldn't have to spend another second with him in that house, I'd happily let myself be taken away. Yeesh. Kineta Junko, my older sister. She's one of the prettiest and kindest people I know, and there's nothing she can't do. I can rely on her for anything. Honestly, she's the greatest sister anyone could ask for. She's always been there for me, ever since the day I was born, until she left to get married. So yeah, they have their surnames first in this game, because that's how it is in Japanese. We're gonna try and look at everything. Do I have motion blur off? I hate how games have motion blur enabled by default. I hate motion blur. Why did I change that? Off. Fuck you, motion blur. I hate it. Looks awful. Article, Serious Issues in Ebisugaoka, April 21st, Showa 20, 1945, Evening Edition. The onsen geyser that suddenly started spewing water on the 3rd of this month in Iwashimizu, Ebisugaoka of Yamabe District finally came to a stop early this morning. The geyser reached a height of at least 30 meters, but the ceaseless noise and pungent hydrogen sulfide gas have left residents troubled. 3 individuals have been hospitalized with complaints of skin sores and other maladies they claim were caused by the gas. In addition, strong concentration of arsenic have been detected in the geyser's water, 20 milligrams per liter. Many residents have concerns about future environmental issues this might lead to. So that paper is at least 15 years old, because this takes place in the 60s. Exploration, collectibles. You might come across various valuable items and information while exploring. Use MERT and go to the collectible page to view which key items and documents you currently have. Entry to mountain prohibited.
土砂崩れで通れない。昔はここ登ったな。
And in regards to the English dub, I don't think it's bad. I think it is probably about as good as it could be, considering like the circumstances and the stuff I mentioned previously, except for one role. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to call it out, so I won't say. But it's a pretty important one. Local doctors note, there have been sightings of foxes coming into town recently. I'm sure that the older generations who have grown up learning to respect foxes are fine, but I'm concerned for any children who may try and chase or provoke the creatures. Foxes by nature are not aggressive, but just like wild dogs, they carry diseases such as rabies, tetanus, and echinococcus, to name just a few. The town committee should send out warnings to ensure people don't get unnecessarily close to them. Hokora. Use A when in front of a hokora to see a list of things you can do. You can save your progress by going to record. A woman is only complete when she's loved, featuring the latest fashion for young women so pure they even make flowers blush. Drinking at this time of day. We can actually go in here in a New Game Plus. I mean, we're definitely going to be doing New Game Pluses. That's how you get the other endings. Yes, baby. I reach out to pet her and she jumps away. She's like, pay attention to me. No, not like that. Okay. Ebisugaoka. I live in the small rural town of Ebisugaoka. Before the war, the town was lively due to an influx of people coming from the coal mines and dam construction going on in the northern mountains. After the dam construction finished and the coal mine closed down, it just became a sad little town. The grand iron bridge that connects the town to the nearby city is the only reminder of this sorry town's former glory. I'm using a new controller because my old one was noisy when I pressed the run button. And I know you can switch it to R1, that's noisy too. at least on my controller. I'm using some cheap Xbox knockoff controller. I used to have an F710, the Logitech one. That was the same one that's used in the Titan submersible. And it had extreme driver issues and everything and all that, but it just never stopped working, and so I kept using it. But again, it is noisy, so I'm not using it now. I also have, so yeah, I'm using a different controller. So I'm just starting to get used to it. And I'm also using a mod that adjusts some of the Unreal Engine settings and helps with stuttering that this game had. This game runs pretty well, but I did have some issues with stuttering. And the mod completely helps with that. It is incredible. And it said it looks pretty much like it's supposed to, but I don't notice any difference whatsoever. Anyway, the game.
Sakuko, どこ行くの？こっち通るの珍しいね。
車が道を塞いでてさ。
千鶴や？
今は誰かと喋りたくて。
私も後から行くね。
うん。じゃあね。
裏切り者。
They absolutely nailed the atmosphere in this game. It is so good. It's very Silent Hill 2 in a lot of ways, but especially in regards to like how the game like kind of drags out its opening and keeps you guessing like, okay, when's the scary thing gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? And then, you know, when it finally happens. Like, that's... Igarashi Sakuko, one of my friends. She's always got her head up in the clouds and is a little strange. She is constantly trying to worm her way out of paying me back for the 500 yen I lent her that one time. Her father is the head priest of the Senensigi shrine in town. She seems to take great pride in donning the traditional Miko robes and selling charms during the New Year celebrations. Map. Use to open the map. As you progress, objectives and places of note will be marked on the map. If you are unsure what to do next, you can check your current objective by using Y. Name, Suzutani Mayumi. Last seen wearing white blouse, long navy skirt, beige neckerchief with black polka dots. Details of disappearance. The rest of this has been torn off. Still under construction. When are they going to be finished? Eli Shu. Shu's been my best friend since forever. He's my partner. We've been having play dates for as long as I can remember. When we played Make-Believe Space Wars, we'd call each other partner, and for some reason, it just kind of stuck. Kids of the Showa era tend to look down on the other sex, but never Shu. When I rebelled against my parents because they told me to act like a girl, he was the one who understood my feelings the most and stood by me.
Yo, 相棒。
シュウ。
あのさ。
うん。なんか言ってよ。
お前こそなんか言うことはないのかよ。
相棒にないんだったら私にだってない。
お前らしいや。受け身な生き方なんてお前らしくないぜ。お前が自分で選んだ道なら俺はいつまでも応援するからな。
シュウ。
シュウ君、お待たせ。ひなこもいたんだ。
リンコ。
何の話をしてたの？
いや、大した話は。
誰かとおしゃべりしたい気持ちだったんだって。
気が紛れたよ。
それはよかった。お役に立てて光栄の極み。会えると分かってたら借りてた雑誌持ってくればよかった。
ああ、貸したままでいいよ。リンコに貸した時点で戻ってくると思ってないし。
んだとこんちくしょう。笑いすぎだよ。サクコだってひなこから何か借りてるんじゃないの？私なんかあったかな。ねえひなこ、じゃあ私が借りてる500円も返さなくていいよね。サクコ利子つけて返すとか言ってなかった？言ってないよ。証文あんなら出してみろ。いいこと聞いた。これからはサクコに貸すとき消しゴムであっても証文書かせるから。そんな意地悪言わないでよ。ねえねえ、昨日のラジオ聞いた？聞いた。でも途中で寝ちゃった。ひなこ？
あ、ごめん。何？
裏切りも。
Gotta die at least once. Oh my god. It's so good. Holy shit. It's so scary. Like how you think, is it over? Oh, no, no, not over. Oh, sorry, I'm getting used to this new controller. That's the issue. Note from Shu. Hey partner, these painkillers should work best for you. They'll not only take care of your headaches, but also any pain from injuries. I suspect that the main cause behind your nasty headache is from you unconsciously grinding your teeth when you're upset. Does that sound about right? If you ever need to talk or anything, just call me my name and I'll be there. Red capsules. Painkillers are in capsules. Relieves pain and raises spirits. Slightly restores health and current max sanity. I remember when they first released the teaser trailer for this game, they were like, we wanted something as beautiful as it was horrifying, and they completely nailed that. Bandage. Bandage is coated with ointment used to stop bleeding. Application is taught at all local schools. Greatly restores health. Okay. Nishida Rinko, one of my friends. She's really put together, but can be a little inflexible in how she does things sometimes. When she set her mind to something, that's it. And recently, that something seems to be clothes, fashion, and other womanly pursuits. Rinko once confessed to me that she had a crush on Shu. I told her that I was all for it, but if she can't get used to the idea of rolling around in the dirt and catching insects for fun, she might have a tough time. Unlike my sister Junko, who was always the golden child, I've been a handful ever since I was little. My parents told me that I never listened to a single word they said. I'd make my mom cry and my dad furious. But Junko was always there for me. She understood me. She looked out for me. That's why I love my sister, and have always done what she's asked of me. Or, at least I've tried. She would smooth things out between me and my parents, which made life in that house a little more bearable. That is, until she got married, of course. Chizuria General Store. It might have started as a general store, but we've come to call it the candy store because half of what it sells is just snacks and toys. It's where all the kids hang out. My friends and I also meet up here, though we usually just sit outside and chat. Health. Taking hits will cause you to lose health, and you will die once it is fully depleted. Make sure to use items to recover health as you go. Items. When you want to use an item, you must first go to Equipment under Rent and select Items, then put the item you'd like to use in your item shortcut. You can use an item in your shortcut with LB plus AB XY. If you run out of a certain item, then collect more of it. You won't have to re-add it to your shortcut. It's really convenient.
ここどこ急いで咲子のとこに戻らないと シュウリンコ
We don't even have a weapon. Dodging. Use B to evade enemy attacks. If you dodge just before an enemy attack lands, you'll perform a perfect dodge and recover your stamina. She's still coming. Fleeing. The key to survival is knowing when to stand your ground and fight and when to run. You can escape from combat by getting out of enemy sight. Stamina. After dodging or running while in combat. Attacking, dodging, or running while in combat will deplete your stamina. If you run out of stamina, you will become out of breath and won't be able to act until you have recovered. Fogtown. That's not the name of the monster, that's just the location. A monster that appears to be lumps of flesh stitched together. It approaches with an unsettling smile when it catches sight of me. It's covered all over with sickening wounds. I wonder if it wants to hurt me the same way it was hurt. Yeah, probably. The beginning of this game is absolutely horrifying. Like, I've played this a bunch of times and my heart is still racing. It doesn't stay that way, you know. Something that's a frequent, like, common criticism of this game is that it's too combat-oriented. Well, it gets too combat-oriented later on, and it is therefore less scary. But I do think that works for the story. Yokan, a jelly-like dessert filled with red bean paste, a bite-sized delight, greatly restores health, can also be used as an offering. We're pretty much going to give all our offerings to the Hokura, the first time around. Because, like, we get enough bandages and red pills and stuff. Additionally, enshrining objects within a hokura will allow you to receive faith. Using faith, you can draw for omamori, pray to receive various benefits, using a blank emma, clear mind to recover sanity. If you've chosen casual or story as your action difficulty level, then you can recover both your health and sanity without using faith by visiting a hokura. When you hear that music, you know there's an enemy around, but you don't know where it is. Local doctor's note. There are cases where patients see an improvement in their symptoms not by taking medicine, but rather by simply talking to a doctor. The cause of this phenomenon lies undeniably in the trust fostered between practitioner and patient. Conclusively, the pharmacists who have been trusted since ancient times perhaps could be said to contain a similar power to that of the local gods here. Even among the younger generations of this town, there are many who believe praying to Oenari-san will soothe pain and speed up the healing process. One's fortitude of faith is thought to have direct relation to potency. There are even some town elders who claim to have had broken bones miraculously mended after praying to Oenari-san. And Oenari is the same as Inari. It's just a more respectable way to refer to something in Japanese. Run, bitch! Oh, shit. You are right where I need to go. They can go up ledges. Oh! Checking objects. When looking around, use A when near drawers or boxes to take a look inside. You mean like I just did? It won't open without a key. Can't open it. Bloody key. A key with unknown bloodstains. Not sure what it Examining objects. When you are near certain objects, you can examine them by using A, move the camera by using LS, or take a closer look using LB. After doing so, you can use A to examine an object in greater detail. Uh-oh. Backdoor key, a sturdy-looking barrel key. Judging from its size and blaze, it should be used to open the back door. Uh-oh. If you would have gone down here before, it would have been like, the key doesn't fit! That's a scary moment. Omamori Whale. When using a restorative item, you will not be interrupted by normal attacks. Well, it's better than nothing, but it's not great. Omamori. Omamori contain a multitude of abilities, and you can equip as many as you have slots available. While not in combat, use Mrant and go to equipment to select and equip Omamori. Omamori can be obtained by drawing for them at Hokura. In addition, special Omamori can be found as you progress. You can increase the number of Omamori you can equip by praying at Hokura. Now we have to go back inside. If I was playing with my normal controller, I totally would have been able to escape without any damage. But it's a little finicky here. Whew. Uh-oh. Hey, I want whatever's back there. Antique comb, a small hairbrush specifically made to be used in religious ceremonies, a type of offering, yields a great deal of faith when enshrined. Hokura. Some offerings not only recover health and sanity, but can also be exchanged for faith at Hokura. Use faith at a Hokura to fully restore your sanity. If you've chosen casual or story as your action difficulty level, then you can recover both your health and sanity without using faith by visiting a Hokura. Use faith you have received at a Hokura to obtain Omamori. So we're not going to draw any Omamori yet. We are going to save our faith until we can upgrade, because that's way more important than drawing Omamori that may or may not be useful. That is a box we can only open on New Game Plus.
Rinko?
Attacks. Use RB to light attack. Though you won't deal much damage, you will be able to attack more swiftly. Use RT to heavy attack. Your movements will be slower, but you will deal far more damage and have a higher chance of stunning enemies. Enemies take more damage while stunned. Use X to lock onto an enemy. Use X again, cancel. Alright, so if you're having a problem with the combat in this game, I have a solution for you. Hold down L2. There. That lets you counter. And there's like a full... It's over a second. It's gotta be over a second of full counter. Like, I am bad at parrying, but like... This is not Clair Obscure. This is not Dark Souls. You don't need to be great at parrying. Just hold down L2, and it depletes your stamina. They're going to tell us this in a minute. They didn't tell us it yet, but you can still use it. It depletes your, not stamina, but faith. But that's not faith either. Not faith. Sanity. But that's what it's used for. Counters. Certain enemy attacks will leave them vulnerable to counterattack. A visual hint will appear when it is possible to counterattack. When the visual hint is shown, use RT to perform a counter. The visual hint indicating that a counter is possible will be visible for longer when you are using LT to focus. If no visual hint is shown during an enemy's attack, that attack cannot be countered. Additionally, hints will not appear while Hinako is attacking or dodging, so keep a close eye on enemies' movements. And you don't need to hold it down the entire time, kind of tap. And then you'll be able to, like, tell. You'll get used to it. Okay. Sanity. Your sanity is linked to the use of focus and psychological attacks from enemies. While not in a state of focus for some time, your sanity will recover to your current maximum. If you are attacked while using focus or use a focus attack, your maximum sanity will decrease. Taking psychological damage will cause your sanity to decrease. Once you have no sanity left, your health will take damage instead. You can use items such as Ramune and Divine Water or visit Hokura and choose Clear Mind to restore your max sanity. If you've chosen Casual or Story as your action difficulty level, then you can recover both your health and sanity without using Faith by visiting Hokura. Also, being attacked while using Focus will not cost max sanity. Attacks. Got that. Counters. Alright. Is there anything else in journals? Because a lot of the story in this game is told through the memos and journal entries. Toolkit. A portable toolkit containing commonly used tools for home repair. Restores equipped weapons' durability. Toolkit. Use toolkits to repair weapons and restore their durability. Toolkits can be added to your item shortcut using Once a weapon's durability has been exhausted, then that weapon will break and disappear. Toolkits can be used to restore a weapon's durability. So, these are best used for things that are actually rare. Like, knives. Well, not rare necessarily, but good. Steel pipes are good, actually. This isn't like... This isn't like a typical game where you get the worst weapon first. Steel pipes are actually kind of like your base weapon. They're not bad, they're not good. Ramune, the best-selling soft drink in town, it packs a fizzy, refreshing punch that wakes you up with one sip. Greatly restores current max sanity, can also be used as an offering. I like Ramune, but every time I get one, it's like... What, like 3 sips in a bottle? That's probably just my Americanness talking. I do enjoy big drink. Drink should be big. What's wrong with that? And I'm probably not even going to use them for this playthrough, but that should be there. I wish enemies didn't disappear after you killed them. But I guess it's not a big deal. It's like, I want to think maybe they're gonna get up. Even though enemies don't respawn in this game. Nothing here. Another steel pipe. Steel pipe, a rusty but sturdy steel pipe. It's long enough to work as a makeshift weapon. Switching weapons. Use meh to switch weapons you are using. Attacking enemies decreases a weapon's durability. How much does this actually heal you? I'm not going to use the Romane, but... Not much. Not much. It doesn't heal you that much, but... Oh yeah, kitty. You meowed at that exact right moment. A little more complicated when you have multiple enemies running at you.